Hey everyone, how's it going? Aaron Rift here from NoDQ.com along with good old JM, Jeff Meacham. How are you doing today, Jeff, for our SummerSlam 2016 predictions?
I guess I should be excited because we're doing another show back-to-back days, but people got mad at me yesterday. I'm kind of upset, Rift.
Yeah, looks like you got a cup of haters, if you know what I mean.
Got a cup of haters.
Yeah.
Got a cup of haters.
Yeah, and apparently people cringe when I try to be funny. So I'm going to try to be funny even more just to piss off those people.
I think you should go on the stand-up comedy circuit just to really piss people off, Aaron.
Exactly. I'm going to pull a little bit of Rift Aronson on this video, maybe if I feel like it. I mean, we have 11 matches for this SummerSlam pay-per-view, so we're going to need to entertain ourselves here. This is going to be a very long predictions video.
Yeah, we're going to be here until about 2 o'clock, I think.
There might be more matches for this card than WrestleMania. How many matches did WrestleMania have?
I don't remember. All I remember is not looking forward to it. I'm actually looking forward to SummerSlam more than I did WrestleMania, but that's not saying much, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it really isn't. So we have 11 matches. Apparently this show is going 6 hours. I think there's like a 2-hour pre-show and then the 4 hours for the main pay-per-view. It's ridiculous. This is just way too long for a wrestling show, in my opinion. I know some people out there feel they can not have enough WWE. They just want more and more and more. Feed them more, as Ryback might say.
Does WWE not understand the Olympics are going on right now? Does WWE not understand that people don't want to watch WWE, they want to watch the Olympics, and they want to watch like the actual sports?
Well, the core WWE fans will want to watch WWE no matter what. And there are those fans out there. There's clearly fans that cannot get enough of the company and they just want more product. I mean, in my opinion, I think it's becoming very oversaturated, but that's a whole other topic for another video. Let's talk about SummerSlam here and go over these matches. I'm assuming this first match we're going to talk about will be a pre-show match, one of the pre-show matches. It's a 6-woman tag team match from the SmackDown brand. We have Becky Lynch, Carmella, and Naomi with her brand new EDM-style entrance against Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and Eva Marie. So the big question here is, will Eva Marie compete in the match? That is the hook for this match, I think. Or will she have yet another excuse? This past week on SmackDown, she missed traffic, and people are coming up with different ways for her to miss her matches. I actually like the storyline with her. At least she has a storyline, and it's interesting from week to week to see what the next excuse is going to be. So what do you think about this match? And first off, let me ask you, what do you think about the Eva Marie gimmick?
I think there's only so far they can go with Eva Marie. I really think that the training that she received from Brian Kendrick needs to be displayed and not just this hokey excuse shit. And I'm sorry to swear again. I know I got in trouble for that yesterday.
Well, apparently it's awkward when I try to swear. That's what I've seen.
I know, seriously. It's like you can do anything except be funny. I can't do anything. I really think I think the whole thing's bogus. I'm not a fan of the storyline at all. I really don't like it at all. I think it's kind of hokey and stupid. But again, I don't know everything, despite what people think I do. I guess it's working for some people. I guess people find it entertaining that she's coming up with excuses or the WWE's have excuses for her to not wrestle. Hopefully she'll be in the ring on Sunday. Hopefully she'll actually get in there and show that she's got proper training and actually can go when she needs to go. So based on that, I think that her team is going to win.
Well, I'm hoping she doesn't wrestle. I think they should keep this storyline going on for like a year. Just every week, not have her wrestle. That be her gimmick, that she never wrestles. It's just something different. So I would like that. But as far as the winners of this match, I'm going to go with the baby faces just because I think Becky Lynch is the top star on this brand and she should be showcased and get a win here. What do you think about Naomi's new entrance? Have you seen it yet? It's basically this EDM style entrance. I feel like I have to pop a Molly or something when she comes out.
Right.
She's got all the crazy lights and her costume's all lit up and she's dancing and it's, the trancey music.
I saw it online. I haven't had a chance to watch SmackDown yet because Well, to be honest, I fell asleep because I was that tired from yesterday. But it was all right. It's different, like you said. It's unique. It's never it having really been done before, unless you count like some like Glacier stuff back in WCW. But it's different. It's got a unique feel to it. And I think she can go far with it.
Yeah, a lot of people like it. So you're going with the heels to win, and I'm going with the faces. So we're already disagreeing on this pay-per-view. Let's see if we can keep that streak going, because usually it seems like you and me always agree on all the match outcomes.
Yes.
All right, next up we have Cesaro versus Sheamus in the first match of a best-of-7 series, which I find to be funny because I think it's a good idea to do this just because I think WWE would have booked these guys against each other 7+ times anyways, so why not make a storyline out of it where they're going to have an actual series. Since Sheamus lost on Raw to Sami Zayn, I'm thinking that Sheamus will win this first match in the best-of-7. What do you think about this match?
I have to agree. I think Sheamus. I like the storyline to a certain extent because they really don't seem to know what to do with either of these guys, other than put them against each other and have them be interfering in each other's matches. So to put them in the best-of-7, it's not going to be Booker T and Chris Benoit. It's not going to be Magnum TA and Nikita Koloff, but it's going to be something different that we're not used to seeing very often on WWE TV. So it'll be good to see. As far as the winner, I think I agree with you, Aaron. I think Sheamus needs the first win as the bad guy to really establish the way the series is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, usually in these types of situations, the heel gets the advantage and the babyface has to try to make the comeback. So it makes sense for Sheamus to win the first one. I just hope they change things up with these matches. My fear is that every match is going to be the same thing. Crowd's going to chant, "You look stupid" at Sheamus, and then Cesaro's going to do his uppercuts and his big swing, and Sheamus will say, "Oh, you guys not entertained?" And, it's going to be the same match every single time. So I'm hoping they'll change things up when they do these matches and maybe have one match be no DQ and have them brawl in the crowd, or just change it up, do something different. I'm just hoping we get a little bit of variety with this match. But yeah, I'm going with Sheamus to win here. Let's move on to the Intercontinental Championship match. The Miz, who portrayed a chicken after SmackDown went off the air, he had a match with Dolph Ziggler, who was dressed as Colonel Sanders. So that's where The Miz is at this point in his career. He is going up against Mr. Smiling Man himself, Apollo Crews. They did a segment. Basically, the build for this match was a commercial break segment. And during the commercial break, after Miz TV ended, Apollo Crews came out and laid out Miz with his sit-down powerbomb or whatever it was. And that was the build-up. They did show the footage from the commercial break, but that's what they've been doing to build up this match. To me, Apollo Crews is not the guy to beat The Miz for the IC title. I'm really not that high on Apollo Crews at this point. Not that it's his fault or anything, but I think the company's done a really poor job with his character. And because of that, I would just have The Miz retain here, maybe turn Apollo heel or change up his character, do something. What do you think?
They gotta do something different with Apollo. I think the main question we need to answer, besides the fact that Miz is going to retain the Intercontinental Championship, is based on his LA lifestyle and his tan, was he extra crispy chicken yesterday?
I only saw him, he was in a chicken suit, so he was basically just a yellow chicken.
I'm going to say it's very important because it is KFC. KFC sponsoring SummerSlam, so it could be original recipe, could be extra crispy, he could be even a grilled chicken. Yeah,
well, he looks to be very, very soft, so I would say he's the original recipe.
Very good. Okay. I don't like the way Apollo's been booked at all. I don't really like the Apollo character at all. I think the whole overly happy and smiley gimmick is very much reminiscent of Rocky Maivia 20 years ago, and he's getting the same kind of crowd reaction. People just do not like him being around. So they need to do something to just chop him down to size, and I think the best way to have Miz to be either cheat to win or just flat out beat him, one or the other.
Yeah, and Miz called him Apollo Creed, and he's doing it on purpose now, so that's the gimmick now, that everyone's just calling him Apollo Creed because Bryan called him that.
Right.
Which I figured that was inevitable. When they first came up with that name, I'm like, okay, this sounds way too similar to Apollo Creed. and people are just going to end up calling him that, which is dumb. So yeah, he really needs an overhaul. I mean, his character is going nowhere in WWE. So because of that, I think it only makes sense for Miz to retain.
I agree.
All right, next up we have a tag team match, which should be a really good match. We have Enzo and Big Cass taking on the team of Jericho, Chris Jericho, and Kevin Owens. I am really looking forward to this match. 4 guys that are doing really well in WWE right now. Enzo and Cass, they're a very hot act. Jericho is Jericho. Owens is doing really well. I mean, this could be one of the better matches on the show, in my opinion. What do you think?
I, again, would have to agree. It seems like we're agreeing after the first match. But, yeah, this match is going to easily define Enzo and Cass going forward. These 2 guys really need to showcase themselves on a grand stage, and SummerSlam is the second biggest show of the year. And if they get even a solid showing, whether a win or a loss is up in the air, but if they get a solid showing against Jericho and Kevin Owens, 2 of the biggest stars on Raw right now, then they will have shown themselves to be in the upper echelon of the WWE Tag Team division. So I think that as over as Kevin Owens has been the last year plus now, and as over as Jericho always is, I think Enzo and Cass need the win.
I agree with you. I think that because Owens and Jericho are the odd couple tag team, they're getting along 1 minute and then the next minute they're arguing, I could see there being some sort of dissension. I mean, I do think this is a hard match to call because I think it could go either way. I think Jericho and Owens could end up winning this, but I think that if Anderson and Gallows are winning the tag team titles, which I'm starting to lean towards, if that's the case, I think Enzo and Cass need the win to build them up as the number 1 contenders and have them feud with Anderson and Gallows. So because of that, I'm going to go with Enzo and Cass to win, but I would not be shocked if Jericho and Owens win. I really feel it could go either way.
Yes, it could. Definitely.
All right, and moving on to the other tag team match, which we were just talking about. We have the New Day defending against Anderson and Gallows, or should I say Dr. Anderson and Dr. Gallows. So it appears that they're getting a little bit of a new gimmick here, something to give them some character development. They're coming out in the doctor uniforms and, doing these skits, which the first week I wasn't really that into it, but last week I found myself more into what they were doing, and I think this gimmick could work for them. It's giving them something, so I think that's good for them. And with New Day, I really hate to say this. I mean, this is why we can't have nice things, I guess, but I feel like the New Day is getting sour. I mean, I feel like they've run their course as a tag team. I mean, the last couple months, they haven't been doing much, and I'm starting to feel it's time. It's time for a title change. What do you think?
Yeah, it pisses me off. I finally get into the New Day, get behind these bastards, and then they get sour. They start getting stale. It's like, geez, I finally get into you guys, and then we have this whole thing with the Wyatt family, which I thought was the hokiest thing this side of the final deletion, and then they have this lack of feud with the club. It's like, okay, why we just have the club just beat them so senseless they just vacate the titles and have a tournament instead? That'd be more entertaining than having this. I'm sorry, I know you like Dr. Gallows, Dr. Anderson. I think that Luke and Carl don't need that kind of gimmickry, the kind of hokiness that they're presenting. And I know it's more sports entertainment than wrestling, but these guys are wrestlers. They came from wrestling in Japan and in the dojos, things like that. They don't need this hokey crap. So I think that there definitely is time for title change. I think, like you said, Enzo and Cass are going to win their match, so they're going to build up toward facing the club, either at whatever the hell it's called, Clash Champions, Night Champions, or down the line for their tag team championship.
Yeah, I agree on that. I'm wondering what's going to happen with Big E, because he wasn't on Raw, and I guess they have his balls in a jar or something like that.
God.
So I'm wondering if he might come out and there might be some sort of miscommunication, or even Big E turns on his partners. But I think it would be more likely that there would be some sort of miscommunication, and maybe that would cost the New Day, and that would start the beginning of the New Day split. I'm starting to feel it's time to break them up and have them go their separate ways. So there could be some sort of miscommunication that leads to them losing. That's what I see as the most likely outcome of this match. What do you think?
I would have to agree with that. There's going to be something that's going to happen that we don't expect to happen. You just said it, but the general WWE fan is not going to expect the New Day to either turn on one another or have that serious of a lack of communication where they're going to cost themselves the championships. I think that's exactly how it's going to go down in Brooklyn.
All right. So now moving on to a match I know you're looking forward to very much. I am too. This should be a really good match. For the Women's Championship, Sasha Banks defending against Charlotte. Dana Brooke is banned from ringside. Now, on Raw this past week, we saw Charlotte get the best of Sasha Banks, and we know how that usually goes. And I wasn't expecting Charlotte to win back the title anyway. I think that Sasha will retain here, and she will stay champion perhaps until WrestleMania. At least that's what I would do. If it was my decision, I would have Sasha Banks hold on to the Women's Championship until WrestleMania and drop it to Bayley. Have the two of them compete for the title at WrestleMania. So what are your thoughts on this match, and who are you going with?
You took the words out of my mouth, Rift. I would definitely have Sasha retain the championship here at SummerSlam. Yeah, remember, Sasha, her ascent to superstardom really began at this event last year at Brooklyn when she took part in the NXT Women's Championship match against the girl you mentioned, Bayley. And then the next night at SummerSlam, she was part of the three team triple threat match. It was a great weekend for Sasha. This week will be no different. I think that she's going to retain the championship, and like you said, hopefully they will book her very, very smart and have her go on all the way to Orlando and drop the championship to the lady they're going to call up hopefully pretty soon in Bayley.
Right. So we'll see what happens with that. Should be a really good match. I mean, those two in Brooklyn should be a hot match. All right, next up for the United States Championship, Rusev defending against Roman Reigns. Now, these two had a match on Raw already, which was an interesting booking decision, and Roman Reigns won that match, which leads me to believe that the whole purpose of that was so Roman could look strong and it won't be as bad for him when he loses to Rusev at the pay-per-view, which is now what I'm expecting. If they did not do that match on Raw, I would have gone with Reigns to win. But now that we saw that match and Reigns beat Rusev, I'm thinking Rusev retains the title. He'll probably cheat with some sort of shenanigans, but I'm thinking Rusev retains and Reigns will go back into the main event picture. I mean, that's what I'm expecting at this point. If Reigns beats Rusev again, then I'm really not sure what to make of the whole thing. What do you think?
I'm going to completely disagree. I think they want us to think that Rusev is going to win on Sunday. I think they want us to think that they're going to use their typical WWE booking strategy of having the guy win on Raw and lose at the pay-per-view. I think they're going to totally swerve us and completely send us in the wrong direction and have Reigns win the match, but not the championship. That way he still looks strong.
You think it's going to be like a DQ or a count-out or something?
Because it's so lost in the shuffle of the card, yes, I do.
That's actually a very good point. I mean, I think that is a possibility that there could be some sort of DQ or something where there's not a clear winner. Because I see Reigns going back into the main event picture very soon. So if he wins the U.S. title, that's obviously not going to happen.
Right.
So yeah, I could very well see that happening. Maybe even Reigns gets DQ'd. You know, he snaps or something, and you know, anything could happen like that.
Could be.
So yeah, I'm not really sure which way I'm going to go with my prediction here. I guess I'll agree with you. I'll say that Reigns wins but doesn't win the title.
That's a safe bet.
Yeah, so we'll go with that. Reigns wins by DQ or count out or something like that. But really, this one's going to be tough to predict. I think it could go either way, really.
I think it could too, honestly.
All right, next up we have a match which has no title on the line, but it is about becoming the face that runs the place. It is the guy that currently is the face that runs the place against the guy that wants to not only become the face that runs the place, but wants to beat up John Cena. John Cena versus AJ Styles, one-on-one. AJ Styles has a victory over John Cena. Cena did beat AJ in a 6-man tag team match at Battleground. So now they're basically 1-1. This is the rubber match. Interesting one to call, although I think because of the fact that SmackDown ended, here I go with the WWE booking pattern again. John Cena put AJ Styles through a table with the AA at the very end of SmackDown, and Cena's music played. That leads me to believe that AJ's winning here. I know it's hard to bet against John Cena. That's the line I always use when we do these pay-per-view predictions. But, Cena already looked really strong at the end of SmackDown. I think AJ needs to win this. And also, Cena is leaving to film the next season of American Grit. He's going to be gone for a while. He's currently not scheduled for the next pay-per-view. Only thing that makes sense here is for AJ to win. What do you think?
Well, it's funny. People on the internet say they like to beat up John Cena. You like to say we don't like to bet against John Cena. But yeah. I'm going to bet against John Cena here. I'm going to say that, like you said, Cena's going away for a while. He's not going to be on SmackDown full time, so there really is a need for him to win anyway. AJ is the new guy. Yes, he's been around for almost 20 years in the business, but he's new to WWE and new to the core WWE audience. So for him to be able to be established and eventually go after the WWE World Championship, whoever wins the championship after SummerSlam, he's got to look strong. He's got to look like he can beat anybody. And if you beat John Cena clean, you can beat anybody in the eyes of WWE booking, the eyes of WWE fans. So he needs to win. There's no question about it.
I agree on that. I think AJ is going to be in the title picture. I really do feel AJ is going to be WWE champion before the year is over. That's just my gut feeling on it. And, what better way to get him to the top than to have him beat John Cena and really establish him as one of the top guys in the company, which he already is.
He is, but if he beats John Cena without Gallows Anderson, that'll be something.
That really cements him as a top guy. So, I think the right decision here is for AJ to win. And, Cena's continuing to wind down his career. It's time for AJ to get that defining career moment in WWE.
Yep.
All right, now we have our final 3 matches. For the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, we have Dean Mother Effin' Ambrose against Dolph HBK Ziggler. This match is very interesting because of the fact that Ziggler is in a WWE title match. I feel it's too little too late with Ziggler. I feel that this should have been done years ago. To me, I'm not really sold on this match. I think it's going to be really good. I mean, these two, I think, are going to have a great match, but I'm just not buying into Dolph Ziggler as a challenger for the WWE title. And I would be shocked if he won. I think the only reason he would win would be for the same reason that Zack Ryder won at WrestleMania, just to swerve everybody and throw people off. To me, there's no logical reason for Ambrose to lose. I think it's best for AJ to win, and then you go on to Dean Ambrose defending against AJ Styles and having AJ win the title. That's what I think should happen, and honestly, I think that's what's going to happen. I think Dean Ambrose will retain here, and he'll go on to feud with AJ Styles for the rest of the year. What are your thoughts on this match?
Be very careful calling it the World Heavyweight Championship. It's now just the WWE World Championship. Don't want to piss off the people watching that think we know everything and reveal we don't know everything. Yeah, I agree. As far as the booking, Ziggler, there's no need. It's too little, too late for him to be champion. He had his run with the World Championship when he cashed in Money in the Bank, and that was a really decent run for Dolph Ziggler considering where he came from. He mentioned in the promo against Ambrose that he started as a male cheerleader, and nobody ever thought anybody in that squad would do anything beyond Spirit Squad. And look where Ziggler is now. He's one of the all-time fan favorites in recent memory. Then you have Dean Ambrose, who has looked okay as champion. He had a solid win at Battleground that would surprise a lot of people, I think. And if AJ is going to beat John Cena, like we just said, Dean needs a viable contender, and AJ needs a viable champion to go against. And I think that if they have Ziggler win, it's going to be a layup that AJ wins. If Ambrose wins, Ambrose can look strong, and Ambrose can show that he's going to give AJ a run for his money for the championship.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Ziggler. It's not that we're being negative on Dolph Ziggler. I mean, some people say that. Say, you guys wanted Ziggler to get this push for all these years. Now you guys are complaining. The problem is it should have been done over a year ago. You know, after that 2014 Survivor Series, when he was the sole survivor for his team, that's when the rocket should have been strapped to him and he could have gotten that renewed push. Now I feel it's too late. And the stuff he's doing, with the super kick and everything, he's cutting the promo on Ambrose and then he hits the super kick out of nowhere. It's the same thing Shawn Michaels used to do all the time. And then he says he's going to prove he's that damn good, so he's using Triple H's lines. And, Ziggler, I feel like he's just copying too much and not being unique enough. That's just my take on it.
I think between the booking that they're presenting him and his own performance, he's just trying too hard.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see a Dolph Ziggler heel turn. Maybe have him lose this match and then snap and go heel again and see if he can reinvent himself. That's what I would like to see.
Yep.
All right, so now we have the last two matches. Singles match for the brand new WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship, or just the Universal Championship, whatever. We have Seth Rollins, the man, against not the Demon Kane, but the Demon King, Finn Balor. I really don't like that Demon King name. I mean, if there was no Demon Kane, then I would be okay with the name, but I keep thinking Demon Kane every time I hear Demon King. And I'm just waiting for somebody to say the wrong name on TV, just like Apollo Crews and Apollo Creed. Yes. But yeah, this should be an awesome match. I think they're going to tear the house down. This could be match of the year. I mean, this is Finn Balor's first big match on the main roster, his first big WWE main roster pay-per-view, his first pay-per-view match on the main roster. He is going to go all out. He is going to tear the house down, and Rollins is Rollins. These guys are going to just go out there and have this incredible match. And, it's for the brand new championship, so it's really important to have a memorable match. And I'm fully confident it's going to be one of the best matches of the year.
Seth put out a tweet back on the 16th, which was, as we tape this, it was yesterday. Balor versus Rollins. Demon King versus the Man. Devitt versus Black. SummerSlam. Brooklyn. Universal title. This is special. With a picture of the face-off.
Right.
They're going back to, making sure people remember that it was Fergal Devitt, Prince Devitt, against Tyler Black at one point back in the day.
Yeah.
These two guys are not strangers to each other. But it's the first time they're getting the WWE stage to compete. And for anybody that's followed Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, for anybody that's followed Prince Devitt, Finn Balor for all these years like I have, and like you follow Tyler Black to a certain extent with PWG and everything.
Yep.
This is a huge, huge deal for both guys and a huge deal for us as fans. And I think it's going to be nothing short of spectacular. I think that either one of them winning is good for business, is good for the company, is good for Raw, the brand. Based on who they have as contenders and who they have as guys that are being kind of pushed to the moon right now on Raw, I think they'd be better off having Finn Balor become the first champion and then Rollins challenge him again at Night of Champions, or whatever the hell it's going to be called this week, and then have Balor be solidified as a main eventer and have the different heel contenders go against him, leading toward Survivor Series, maybe even toward the Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be huge for Finn Balor to win the title and be the first Universe champion. And WWE is really putting a lot of stock into him, and he's getting this monster push. There's some controversy. Some people are upset that they gave away the Demon King entrance on Raw instead of saving it for the pay-per-view. Do you think that was a mistake?
Not at all. I really thought about it because I read the spoilers all day. I read the spoilers, went into watching Raw myself here on the West Coast, and I was mixed. I had a mixed emotion about it. Part of me was like, God, they blew it. And then I watched it and I go, you know what? For people that don't watch NXT, that wanted to see the Demon on free TV and not have to worry about, seeing what they were going to get themselves into. Because keep in mind, Finn always unleashed a special Demon for the pay-per-views, for the specials. So yes, we saw the original Demon look entrance Monday night, But like at the different NXT specials in London and all the other ones we've seen, he's bound to bring out somebody different coming into Brooklyn, because last year at Brooklyn was the first time we saw a major appearance by the Demon on a major special, and he defended the NXT Championship successfully against Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
So it's going to be something special. It's going to be something different than we saw Monday night. But I really think that people just need to not worry about okay, you know what? So he used the Demon on Raw. Big deal. He's still going to have the match of the night, I think.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Well, my thought process is, similar to what you said. The thing is, when Balor came out there on Raw in that costume, a lot of new people saw that entrance. And I'm sure there were people that casually watched Raw and saw that and were like, holy crap, that's an awesome entrance. I really got to see this show now on Sunday. That will do nothing but help. I think that Finn Balor doing that entrance helped get people excited about the match on Sunday, and I think that's what you need to do. It's about selling the pay-per-view and creating the hype for it. So I thought it was the right decision to have him come out there with the face paint and everything and doing the big entrance to really sell his character to your casual fans and get people invested in the pay-per-view. So I thought it was the right decision.
Yeah, somebody asked me on Talk Wrestling, I think last week, whether it was the best entrance in wrestling right now, and I guess it's hard to disagree with it. It's easily the best entrance on Raw right now. There are some that are in Japan and whatnot that really, really are over the top and everything, but the Demon entrance on a pay-per-view or on a TV special is a sight to behold each and every time.
Right. Now, the last thing I want to cover real quick is the new championship. I'm really hoping they come up with something unique for the belt. I mean, I could see them just doing something generic, like it's the WWE title with a red strap, and then Ambrose's title has the blue strap, and it's just simple like that. But I'm hoping they come up with a really cool design. Like some people have suggested maybe like a variation of the old winged eagle for the new championship. I think that would be really cool. What would you like to see from this new belt?
Well, it's funny. Our guy Bill, the guy that does the championship belts for the figures, he did a concept of the Universal Championship that never haven't seen it yet, that he saw or that somebody did on there. It kind of looks like a variation of the Winged Eagle. I'd like to see the Winged Eagle return. I mentioned this when I did Talk Wrestling last week, or after one of the shows, and people asked me what my favorite all-time belt was, and I showed my Winged Eagle here on the camera and mentioned that maybe they could do WWE Universal Champion. The only thing is they have to take out the wrestling part of the belt because they can't say wrestling on TV because it's a bad word.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see the Winged Eagle come back in some form because I missed the Winged Eagle. I missed it since it went away, whatever it was, almost 20 years ago now.
So that would be pretty awesome if they did like a variation of that for the new title. I think that would be the right thing to do.
I agree.
All right, so now we have our main event match, the headline match between the Viper Randy Orton and the Box Office, as Paul Heyman put it on Raw. We have Brock Lesnar one-on-one with Randy Orton, a match 14 years in the making. I think WWE is saying 15 years in the making, which I guess makes sense if you're counting their time in OVW from 2001. This is going to be a very interesting match. I mean, I'm really curious about the outcome of this match because we all know about what happened with Brock Lesnar and the drug test failures. WWE is not going to punish him with a suspension or anything like that. The question is, will they have him lose to Randy Orton as punishment? I'm thinking it's probably not going to happen now. I think it's best to have Brock Lesnar stay strong and continue pushing him and have a younger star beat Brock Lesnar and get the rub from defeating Lesnar. I'd like to see somebody like Samoa Joe. We talked about this during the NXT predictions. I'd love to see Joe get a big push and be the guy to beat Brock Lesnar at next year's WrestleMania. Joe is even teasing it. I mean, he did an interview recently. It's up on ODQ.com where he said he would like to fight Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That's what I would like to see. And, I think Lesnar still has some value despite what happened with the drug test failures. I mean, he came out there. He's still getting these huge crowd reactions. He's still a beast. Every time he comes out there, he destroys people. I love what he said to Heath Slater on Raw. He said, "I don't give a shit about your family." And there I go swearing. I'm sure that's very awkward for the people. I'm quoting him directly. So
that surprised me when I knew it was going to happen because I saw the spoiler. I saw the meme all over Facebook and whatnot. But when he brought Slater in, I got kids too. Let me tell you something. He looked right. I don't give a shit about your kids.
That was a great
line.
That was great. His delivery was perfect. I mean,
as
much as people complain about Lesnar's mic skills, when he's focused and doesn't have to say too much, he can actually be really good on the mic. So, Lesnar did a great job. And, to me, it's not the time for him to be losing, despite what happened with the drug test failures. I think he needs to win this.
No, it's not time for. I do think it's time for him to have a competitive match though, because 2 years ago at SummerSlam we were there. Oh my God, he killed Cena. You talk about beat up John Cena. My God, he obliterates it. I mean, last year the Undertaker fiasco with the whole screwy finish, whatever, that was horrible. It needs to be both of them need to look strong this year. Orton and Lesnar. Lesnar can still win. But Orton needs to be put over as a viable threat to Brock Lesnar in order to continue on SmackDown.
It's going to be a very back and forth match. I mean, no question. It's not going to be one sided. It's going to be very close. And I'm expecting that big spot where Lesnar goes for the F5 and it gets countered into an RKO. But Lesnar will kick out of that and somehow manage to beat Orton. Orton will probably hit some suplexes. It's going to be a really fun match. We're gonna see a lot of carnage here. And the fact that Orton has already had several matches on television and won several matches, he's okay losing now. If this was his very first match back from his injury, then it would be harder to say that he's okay losing because he should look strong in his first match back. But since he's already won some matches, I think he's all right losing here. And I'm expecting Brock to win and then go on to maybe face Samoa Joe or even, who knows, Goldberg. There's the speculation about that. I would be very surprised if Goldberg showed up at this pay-per-view. There's the speculation because Goldberg's going to be in New York for the WWE 2K17 appearances, and that's led to people thinking maybe he'll show up at SummerSlam. I'm not expecting it, but anything can happen in WWE, or at least back in the day, anything could happen in WWE. I would not rule it out, but it would surprise me to see Goldberg there.
It would surprise me too, but yet it wouldn't surprise me. Like it would be something if he were to show up just to kind of plug 2K on the WWE pay-per-view, and then him and Lesnar just kind of have like a face-off and go, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, honestly, I'd rather see Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar than Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, but that's just me. I mean,
no, I agree.
I'm kind of over the idea of Goldberg in WWE. I think if they were going to do it, they should have done it years ago.
Yep.
Maybe 2011 when they were in Atlanta, but whatever. So that'll wrap it up for our thoughts on the WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view. NoDQ.com has got you covered. We will have a live chat room 30 minutes before the pre-show starts. Maybe I can get Jeff in there. Hopefully you guys will tune in, come into the chat room. What's up, Jeff?
It's 1:30. I might be traveling to go get my son from his mom. That's the thing. I'll be gone most of the day.
Well, if you can, try to make it in there. I mean, we'll have the chat room open throughout the show, and I'll be in there. Come chat with me. Come chat with Jeff. I'm sure David Payne, our moderator, will be there. And maybe I can even get Nagel in there. Maybe Noah. We'll see. So we're going to have a big chat room. Also on Saturday, 30 minutes before the NXT pay-per-view, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. We'll have another chat room there, and you can come join us for that. I'll be doing the play-by-play coverage at NoDQ.com. Also, I'll be tweeting, twitter.com/NoDQ, DOTCOM. Follow Jeff Meacham at _Jeff Meacham on Twitter. And make sure you check out Jeff's videos, Talk Wrestling, and After the Bell. Any other plugs you want to get out there before we sign off?
Not this week. Just make sure you guys watch TW and ATB for me. I'll be doing, probably taking those shows tomorrow.
Yeah, and try to cover whatever we haven't already talked about.
I know, it's a thing. There's so much to cover, but most of it we covered the last 2 days.
Yeah. All right, so that'll do it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, please share it with a friend on Facebook or Twitter, and we will see you guys next time.